قبل أن يزيد الصخب هنا. There you go, Joe.
So here they come in from the left now, ladies and gentlemen, straight into the vertical. It's the Russian Knights in the Su-30 Su-30s.
إذن سادة الكرام فريق الفرسان الروس أو الراشن نايت، هذا الفريق الذي تشكل رسميا في 5 من أبريل عام 91 في قاعدة كوبينكا الجوية. كان يستخدم طبعا قبل طائرات سوخوي 27، وقام طبعا مؤخرا باستبدال هذه الطائرات أو تلك الطائرات من طراز سوخوي 27.
You can see even from this distance away, these are big aircraft. They're twin seat, obviously, and they're a twin engine, super maneuverable fighter aircraft built by the Russian Sukhoi Aviation Corporation. It's a multi-role, all-weather, air-to-air, air-to-ground, deep interdiction aircraft as well, and a very, very capable. It's a development of the Sukhoi Su-27, and they've really tweaked this aircraft, and we'll see as they come back in its maneuverability, but don't be fooled by its very artistic fools. This aircraft is a real beast and a very capable aircraft. Now, as you can see, they're in their 4-ship diamond formation and rolling in from our left-hand side soon.
إذا سادة الكرام يعود الفريق الآن على يسار المنصة في هذا التشكيل أو تشكيل الدايموند أو النجمة. قدرات كبيرة، طائرة ثقيلة سادة الكرام، ولكن يدفع هذه الطائرة محركين لكل طائرة، محركين جبارين سادة الكرام. سنشاهد قدرة هذا المحرك بعد قليل. ولاحظوا كيف الالتزام بموقع كل طيار بالنسبة لإيقاع التشكيل. لا يدخل الكمبيوتر هنا سادة الكرام، لا يوجد حاسوب يتحكم بالطائرة. هنا مناورات يدوية يقوم بها الطيارين تبنى على المدرب وتعلم في بقاء كل طيار بالنسبة لموقعه من قائد التشكيل. Amazing maneuver.
That's unbelievable. I mean, you've got to think how fast those aircraft are going. It's a bit deceptive, but it looks like they're actually stuck together. They're flying as one aircraft. The team leader is leading them, and the people on their left and their right and also underneath, believe it or not, they're not actually looking that much where they're going. All they're doing is they're looking at their team leader, and they'll pick a point on that aircraft, his wingtip or the top of his fin, and then they'll just match that, and they will not move from that. So whatever the team leader does, he's number 2, 3 and 4 will follow him. That's true airmanship.
نعم سادة الكرام، الجميع ينظر هنا، جميع أفراد التشكيل ينظرون إلى قائد التشكيل الموجود في الطائرة الأمامية. هو طيران بكامل أبعاده، ولكن قدرات كبيرة لهذه الطائرة والطيارين، ومحرك جبار لهذه الطائرة. سنشهد بيانه بعد قليل. ألوان زاهية لهذه الطائرة سادة الكرام، جديدة جدا هذه الطائرات كما ذكرت، هذه الطائرات من خلال الألوان ومن خلال أيضا المناورات المميزة والأداء الكبير جدا من هذه الطائرات. They're quite new aircraft. They just joined, I guess, a few months ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, originally they used to fly the Sukhoi 27s, Su-27s, but now they've upgraded to the 30. The 30 as well is becoming a very popular export, and it's an export success for Russia. It's been used around the world in many, many air forces now, and it's still being developed as a 4th generation aircraft. Now, watch the aircraft as they back to the left, holding that diamond formation. They'll be changing that soon.
Look at that, Joe. That's amazing.
It is. The guy's on he's number 3, who's on the right-hand side of the leader. He's working the hardest. What I used to do back in the day was if I had to formate on someone, I'd get a little bit of sticky tape and I'd put that in the window. Okay, I'd put that in the canopy, and I'd then keep that sticky tape on the other point of the aircraft so that I knew that if that dot was always on that aircraft, that I was in the right position. That's a little trick. Wow, that is truly amazing. Going over the top, because as they're powering up and going around, the changes in the especially as you're coming down over the top of that loop, and there's no change at all in the aircraft's position. They're staying exactly the same. So imagine you were in a car with 3 of your friends and you just came over a very sharp hill and you tried to keep exactly the same speed. Well, imagine trying to do that with an aircraft that weighs like 30 tons and you're flying at like 200-300 miles an hour. That's amazing.
That's really amazing. نعم سادتي الكرام، وزن كبير جدا لهذه الطائرة، ويعني كل ما زاد وزن الطائرة كل ما كان على الطيار أن يتوقع وضعية هذه الطائرة بالمقارنة مع مستوى هذه الطائرة من الأفق. فإذا كان على سبيل المثال مثل هذه المناورة الآن انخفاض، تتسارع الطائرة على الطيار أن يقلل السرعة أو يقلل عزم المحرك، ولكن أيضا يبقى في نفس المكان عند التسلق أو القيام بالكلايم مثل ما يقولون. عليه أن يدفع بهذا المحرك، وأيضا البقاء في مكانه من قائد هذا التشكيل. لاحظوا كيف هذه المناورات سادة الكرام مع هذه الطائرة الثقيلة والضاربة التي تأتيكم من القوات الجوية الروسية وفريق الفرسان الروس.
Beautifully controlled barrel roll in formation. They really are flying like one wing. Now, I know there's a lot of people here that have a few quid in the bank, okay? So if you're interested in buying one of these, they only cost $37 million each, okay? You can have them in any color that you want, okay? And for $37 million, I think that's a bargain.
Can I pay by credit card?
I reckon you could. I probably think you have that amount of money, Carl. Yes, I think you do. So the team leader slow rolling the aircraft, and then number 2 sliding underneath in what's called mirror formation. It's like looking in the mirror.
Exactly, it's a mirror. And do you think they're looking to each other now?
I think he's waving. You know, in Top Gun, when the guy goes upside down, then he takes his camera out and he takes a picture of him.
That's Tom Cruise.
While apparently doing a 9G maneuver.
That's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. He's reaching for his camera.
نعم كانت مناورة المرآة.
It is, with a nice cool wind. Now look straight ahead on the center line. The two, number 1, number 2, pulling back in, rolling left and right, and then cross scissoring. Wow. Hope you got your cameras on there. And then full afterburn.
نعم مناورة المقص كانت تلك سادة الكرام أو السزر، وإحدى المناورات ذات يعني بصراحة another one.
Absolutely. Look left, look right. Number 1, number 2 head on as they come hurtling towards each other and then rolling the aircraft. They'll be looking out for each other as they level off. Again going in opposite directions. One right, one left. Just throttles back up and moves away. Yeah, that's a pretty scary maneuver. You really don't want to go into flat spin at any time, but specifically not in a jet engine. Now as number 1 moves away to the right, you can see how tightly that can turn, and it looks like it's almost going to stall. It's right on the edge of a stall in that turn. You've got to keep that airflow over the wing to keep the aircraft generating lift, but there's so much power in both those engines, it can literally just punch its way through. So as long as you apply the power and keep it in that tight turn, the aircraft's still going to stay in the air and it's not going to slide out. So watch now as he goes into the vertical, he's going to pull back on the throttle. Now we're going to get into a stall turn. Watch the aircraft, throttle back, throttle back, throttle back, power off into the neutral. Now it's going to do a tail slide. It's sliding back into its own vortex. The aircraft slowly sliding back. Now introduce a bit more power. Power, power, power. You can hear the engine throttling up, and he's flicking the aircraft back onto its back. And there you go. Now you got lift and power. That's what happens when you got enough power that you can actually defy the laws of aerodynamics. Aircraft need air going over the wings to generate lift, but in that case he was actually using the engines to generate the lift and just pushing himself up, like balancing on the top of a very, very small pole.
That's a lot of thrust.
It's a lot of thrust, but it's also a lot of very delicate maneuvers, because he's keeping the aircraft vertical and just balancing it on the jet thrust. Very hard to do. Look at that.
Look at that.
Now that you should not be able to do. That's the thrust vector. That's just using the aircraft to turn within itself.
Look at that, look at that.
And now this is called the Cobra. I first saw this in Farnborough, and it was the first time a MiG-29 did it. That you can, and you cannot tell, I cannot tell you how shocking it was to see that. We thought, oh no, he's lost it, he's going to crash. And that's pure power.
نعم سيد الكرام، مناورات كبيرة، تعتبر مناورات قاتلة في حرب القتال الجوي. هذه الطائرة حقيقة تتوقف في السماء. هذا النوع من التوقف لا تستطيع أن تجاريه أي مقاتلة أخرى، التي تحتاج طبعا أنها تحلق بسرعات كبيرة أثناء القتال الجوي، ولكن لا تستطيع التوقف. هذه الطائرة تستطيع التوقف، وبالتالي الطائرة التي تلحقها في الخلف لا تستطيع التوقف، وستصبح في مرمى هذه الطائرة بعد أن تتجاوز. لذلك هي مناورات كبيرة جدا، قدرات استثنائية، ونظام ثرست فيكتورينج أو النظام الذي يتحكم بعادم هذه الطائرة للمساعدة في مناورات الاصطدام. لاحظوا المناورات هذه سادة الكرام، هذه ليست فقط الأسطح المتحركة أو الإيلرونز الذي يتحكم بهذه الطائرة مثل باقي الطائرات، هنالك أيضا المحرك الجبار الذي يتحرك الجزء الخلفي منه لتوليد طاقة موجهة لتساعد هذه الطائرة أن تقوم بالمهمة. الطائرة الضيقة جدا. Very tight maneuver.
Yeah, well, those canards, the little wings in front just underneath where the pilot is, that canard is, think of it as a little extra steering wheel. It's especially a slow speed. It gives you a lot more control in the slow speed arena, and it's a really, really big help. But you saw there a very good display of sheer power of the aircraft. Even though it's a big aircraft and the airframe itself weighs a lot, the engines themselves generate so much thrust that it's more than a one-to-one relationship, so that it can literally go into a hover. Amazing aircraft, the Suhoi Su-30.
إذن نشاهد الآن عجلات الهبوط وقد أنزلت، ونشاهد في مقدمة هذه الطائرة الآن سيد الكرام الجناح الصغير أو الكنارز. هذا الجناح الذي يعزز من مناورات هذه الطائرة ويضيف إلى خاصية الثرست فيكتورينج وإلى الأجنحة قدرات استثنائية سيد الكرام للالتفاف والقيام بمناورات شديدة الضيق في أي مجال جوي أو في أي ارتفاع. نشاهد الآن الاير بريك أو الجزء العلوي الذي يتساعد خلف قمرة القيادة للتقليل من سرعة هذه الطائرة. طبعا تقلل هذه الطائرة بالاير بريك أو بالايروديناميك بريكس برفع مقدمة هذه الطائرة، وأيضا بالدراج شوت في حالة استخدام الباراشوت في ذيل هذه الطائرة. You can see the air brake was deployed.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got to recover the other three aircraft from the Russian Knights. You can see the second aircraft lining up. Nice big wide stance as well on the undercarriage. You can see that it's got quite a wide stance. There's military, there's naval versions as well of these aircraft, and that's why they have those sturdy, big, wide gates. Makes landing on the carriers a lot easier.
There you go. يطلع الآن بهذه الطائرة المميزة رائد طيار هزاع علي المنصوري من أحد أسراب الشواهين كما يطلق عليهم هنا في دولة الإمارات. تنطلق الآن ونشاهد هذه الطائرة التي قامت بهذا الإقلاع العام.
And there you go, the very distinctive sound of the General Electric F110 engine in full afterburn as it goes into the vertical. The F-16, this is a Block 60, so this is the most advanced version of the F-16 that you can basically buy. There's a new version coming out of V, and also there's talk of an upgrade even on this aircraft.
إذن دخول مميز سادة الكرام، نشهد الآن وتسارع كبير وارتفاع والتفاف حول محور هذه الطائرة، ومن ثم القيام بالنيجاتيف جي والالتفاف مرة أخرى والعودة إلى محور هذه الطائرة والارتفاع عمودي. مناورات كبيرة سادة الكرام، قدرات كبيرة لهذه الطائرة التي طبعا لو نتكلم عنها نحن اليوم ما بيوفيها حقها في القدرات. ولكن طبعا قدرات الطائرة وهذه الطائرة وكل الطائرات الأخرى لا تبرز حقيقة بالمناورات بقدر ما تبرز هذه القدرات من خلال الأفيونكس أو من خلال القدرات الإلكترونية الموجودة على متنها، والتي لا نستطيع أن نبرزها في مثل هذه المناورات، ولكن هي مناورات كبيرة تبرز قدرات هذه الطائرة في الالتفاف والحركة في ساحة العروض. Amazing maneuver.
Absolutely. This General Electric F-100 engine will produce over 32,000 pounds of thrust for the General Dynamics F-16. That's more than what we call 1-to-1 ratio. So it can actually go into the vertical and accelerate straight up. You can also see the very sharp maneuvering characteristics of the aircraft. The F-16 originally designed as an air-to-air combat aircraft, but over the years has developed into a multi-role aircraft, and the Block 60 truly has multi-role capabilities, has amazing air-to-air combat facilities, but also world-leading air-to-ground, so it can do a lot of damage on the ground as well as to other aircraft in the air. The radar on board is an AGS-85, and that gives you the capability to track multiple threats at the same time, again both land and ground-based and air-based. You could be flying over Dubai and you could be looking at targets on the ground the other side of Abu Dhabi and be tracking them. So incredibly powerful radar, and that's really the secret to this aircraft's success. Absolutely, we'll get to see this fly-by-wire characteristics now, where the computer is going to help the pilot. He's going to pitch the nose up, and he's basically going to be like maybe a couple of knots just below the stall speed. So the aircraft is at maximum alpha now. The air flowing over the wing is just generating enough power to keep it flying, and the computer is shouting at him, stall, 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 I guarantee you, as he's coming in. So the computer doesn't like it, but the aircraft can do it, and it'll make sure he won't do any damage. And then he'll just power up, push his left hand forward, and that General Electric engine will start pushing the whole of the bulk of the aircraft back up to a decent speed.
إذن مرور بطيء سادة الكرام يبرز قدرات هذه الطائرة على السرعات المنخفضة، ويدفع الأمن محرك هذه الطائرة سادة الكرام للتسارع من تلك السرعة البطيئة التي كانت هي بطيئة فعلا، ولكن هي تزيد عن 200 كيلومتر في الساعة لو حسبناها بالكيلومتر. تتصاعد الآن الطائرة ويدفع الآن المحرك الجبار هذه الطائرة عموديا، والتفاف يقوم به ساعة الآن، ومن ثم العودة لمنطقة العروض.
So you can see where that power to weight ratio comes in there. It basically went from a dead stop, just powered itself out of it. Over $3 billion spent in the development of this aircraft, and that was by the UAE Air Force, who now have royalties all around the world. So when they sell this technology on, they're actually getting their money back.
بالفعل سادة الكرام، دولة الإمارات ومن القوات الجوية والدفاع الجوي دخلت في مشروع تطوير هذه الطائرة لتصل مع شركة لوكهيد مارتن لهذا النموذج المميز والاستثنائي لدولة الإمارات. أنفقت دولة الإمارات مبالغ طائلة على إنتاج هذا النموذج الذي تمتلكه بشكل حصري. والآن أي زبون لنقل لشركة لوكهيد مارتن يرغب باقتناء البلوك 60 سيكون لدولة الإمارات.
The landing light on, the tricycle undercarriage coming up, and as he lines up for the runway, that was the United Arab Emirates Air Force F-16 Block 60, the Desert Falcon.
Amazing. يا ليت المخرج يعطينا صورة من قمرة القيادة التي تحوي مقعد يتراجع للخلف أو ينحني للخلف لدرجة تقريبا 29 درجة لتقليل المسافة العمودية بين رأس الطيار وقدميه، مما يقلل من الطاقة التي يحتاجها القلب لدفع ذلك الدم في المناورات العالية للوصول طبعا الدم يتحرك ويصل إلى رأس الطيار، وبالتالي تقل المسافة العمودية ويكون الطيار بوضعية أريح.
They can talk with each other, and of course the very distinctive shape of that big delta wing as well produces a lot of lift, so also provides a big area to carry a lot of ordnance. So here coming in from the left, the Mirage 2000-9.
يا سلام سعادة الكرام، طائرة الميراج 2000 وجناح الدلتا وين المميز لهذه الطائرة، وهذا المحرك الجبار الآخر الذي يدفع بهذه الطائرة الآن عموديا. الطائرة مميزة، سلاح مختلف. هذا السلاح أو طائرة الميراج 2000 تسوي مثل ما يقولون اوفرلابينج حق الأجواء، مميزة للارتفاعات العالية المتوسطة والعالية. الاف 16 اللي شاهدناها قبل قليل هي الارتفاعات المتوسطة والمنخفضة. مع ذلك كلتا الطائرتين يستطيع القيام بالمهام الأخرى، ولكن هي مميزة في المراحل أو الأماكن التي ذكرتها قبل قليل. ودخول الآن سريع والتفاف حول محور هذه الطائرة. Amazing maneuvers.
Absolutely. This aircraft as well, as you can see, very capable at low level, and a nice snappy maneuver as well. As I was saying, that big delta wing, you can carry a lot of ordnance underneath there. The Shaheen laser targeting pod is a favorite to be carried. Gives it a very good battlefield awareness, what's going on around it, and it can designate targets on the ground quite easily. Also carries a lot of strike weapons down there as well. It has the equivalent of the Apache missile on board, called the Shaheen, the Black Shaheen, and that's a very capable missile.
إذن قدرات تسليح أيضا مميزة لهذه الطائرة التي أيضا يمتلكها الكثير من الدول غير دولة الإمارات، ولكن هذا النموذج مثل ما ذكرت هو استثنائي لدولة الإمارات. تعمل الميراج 2000 سادة الكرام في دول متعددة، منها حتى جمهورية مصر العربية، موجودة في جمهورية الهند، والكثير أيضا من الدول. كانت ولا زالت الميراج 2000 واحدة من أهم الطائرات في دولة الإمارات. وايضا طبعا تاتي هذه الطائره التي تصنع في فرنسا من شركه داسو من او في مؤخره سلسله متعدده من طائرات الميراج، كان اخرها كما ذكرت 2000-9. ما زالت تخدم القوات الجويه الفرنسيه. من هذا المصنع الذي صنع هذه الطائره تاتي ايضا طائره الرافال التي سنشهد ايضا تواجدها اليوم بعد عروض الفريق الروسي. I think that's the slow pass now.
Yeah, watch as she comes around. She's positioning herself again for a slow pass. Oh, she's doing a rock. Yeah, crazy roll. A rock and roll, we call this. The aircraft, as you can see, very maneuverable, even at slow speeds. And also, I don't know if you can make it out, but it's actually got leading edge slats. And you can see on the front of the wing, running down from the root all the way back to the base of the aircraft. Unlike most aircraft, the actual leading edge has got slats in it, and that helps it a lot at slow speed as well. Great control. It's a big aircraft. If you get a chance, do go and have a look at it. I think there's one down in the static park as well. And once you get up and close personal to it, it's a real beast.
We are very happy that this pilot he's doing this for the first time ever in Dubai Air Show.
And what's the pilot's name?
He's Major Nasser Matar al-Niyadi.
Okay.
And he's one of those pilots who've been graduated from KBZ.
Oh, look at this. This is horrible. This is called an outside roll. And basically, instead of that positive G that's pushing you down into the seat, now he's experiencing negative G. So it's like sucking him out. So his harness is trying to keep him from being sucked out of the aircraft. Very uncomfortable maneuver.
نعم، مناورة النيجاتيف جي سادة الكرام، هذه المناورة التي يرتفع فيها كل دم الطيار من أجزاء السفلية إلى منطقة الرأس، لذلك أو العكس في بعض الأحيان، لذلك تتطلب الكثير من التحمل والكثير أيضا من التدرب للقيام بمثل هذه المناورات. الآن مرور بطيء آخر من طائرة الميراج 2000، إثبات القدرات الاعتراضية على السرعات المنخفضة.
Now compare that slow speed to the F-16. You can see because that big delta wing, it creates a huge amount of lift, but also you've got the advantage of leading edge slats, and that really helps. Originally designed by the British, first aircraft to have them was the old Lysander spy aircraft, but these leading edge slats give you great control at slow speeds, and again with a delta wing, he can practically stop, get out, wash the windscreen, get back in, and the aircraft will still be there.
إذن قدرات مميزة بالكرام. مع التفاف إلى منطقة العروق. انتهت طبعا الدلتا وينج، هذا الجناح المميز، والالتفاف وشكل جميل جدا للميراج 2000 سادة الكرام، واحدة من أجمل الطائرات شكلا في عالم الطيران المقاتل. نشاهد الانبوب ايضا في مقدمه هذه الطائره، ذلك الانبوب المستخدم او الذي يستخدم لاعاده التزود وركود جوي.
And you saw in that very tight turn as he was coming around again, noticeably slower than the F-16. That's a real asset to have, to be able to go as slow as that. Not just fast, but also if you can slow the aircraft down, you can do a lot tighter turn than your person you're trying to shoot out of the sky. Aileron roll, and then up into the vertical. Now we see the aircraft just punch through the sky. Beautiful weather here today in Dubai. We've really couldn't have picked a better day. The wind is just right, and as you can see, no problems with getting up into the vertical for the Mirage 2000-9. I think it's fair to say that these aircraft are now coming towards the retirement age. I would say within 5 to 10 years there's going to be a replacement. I was reading today in the journals that there's talk of the F-35 even maybe coming to the UAE. It was in the front of some of the journals here at the Dubai Air Show, and I think that's probably a fitting replacement for this type of aircraft, because it truly is a multi-role aircraft, and it's developed so much over the years. Remember, these aircraft came back were coming into service in the 80s, so that airframe and that technology, you know, so much has happened now in those nearly 40 years since this aircraft was developed.
نعم، هذه الطائرة سادة الكرام التي نشاهدها الآن تهبط طائرة الميراج 2000-9 هي في مراحلها الأخيرة، أو خلينا نقول في سنواتها الأخيرة من
your left now, very distinctive shape, and look how much, I don't want to say smaller because it's quite a big aircraft, but look in size relation to the Su-30 one. Yeah, the naval version also, I think it's going to be in service with the Indian Air Force, because they're going to be buying Rafales as well to get their aircraft carrier up and running. But you can see a very nimble aircraft straight up the height. Wow, he's got right up there very quickly as well. And then tumbling down. Very snappy controls. Again, that canard formation. A little bit of in it. You can see with that big delta wing, but it's got the little canards in front, gives it superb control. You saw that roll rate there as it was going away from us. Really does. The Sukhoi, not quite as crisp as that. This really does turn the corner. This is like an F1. Again, like the Mirage 2000, this has leading edge slats. Although they'd be fully retracted now, I think, going at this speed. It's only good at low speed, those leading edge slats. Very powerful radar, and as I said, it's multiple mission loads. Switch out attack, air-to-air, reconnaissance, you name it, this aircraft can do it. It has a package for it. Being constantly updated as well. And, different versions coming out as well. We were hoping to have later on as well its direct competitor, the Typhoon Eurofighter. But that aircraft very busy at the moment in the area, with the Luftwaffe and the RAF both in the region working hard. Now into inverted. Again, that negative G, that horrible feeling of being sucked out of the aircraft instead of being reassuringly pushed back into your seat. That time he was feeling this 5-point harness straining. Oh, bit of
lame.
So watch the aircraft as he's rolling around to the left now. Everything looking good. Yeah, aircraft is snap rolling into the vertical. It's keeping it upside down. And then on rolling out the other way. This aircraft has what's called direct voice input, so you can actually talk to the aircraft. I'd love to know what the voice sounds like. You can select weaponry, you can select different setups for the radar, and all by just talking to it. It leaves the pilot free as well to use his left hand, not just controlling the power, but there's a lot of selections that he can do with just using his hand. So the combination of a voice control input and his left hand, basically he can multi-function at the same time. Also, the aircraft has the new weaponry with regards to the helmet-mounted camera system. So basically, wherever you're looking, wherever the helmet is pointing, that's where your weapons are pointing. You can even look down through the floor of your aircraft and see what's below you.
إذا استعراض جميل سادة الكرام من طائرة الرافال الذي بدأ مشروعها في الثمانينات كطائرة مستقبلية لتحل محل الميراج 2000 الموجودة في القوات الجوية الفرنسية. الآن نشاهد هذا البيان العملي للمرور البطيء أو السلو باس. إذا المرور بطيء الآن، ونشاهد ارتفاع قمرة مقدمة الطائرة بالنسبة لباقي بدن الطائرة أو محور هذه الطائرة، ونشاهد الآن زاوية الهجوم أو الأنجل اوف اتاك، وهي الزاوية طبعا التي تكون بين مقدمة أو محور هذه الطائرة ومستوى الطيران. الآن طبعا الطيار ما يقدر يشوف ما هو أمامه، كل التحكم يكون بواسطة أجهزة التحكم الناظرة إلى جانبه. وقدرات حرب إلكترونية وقدرات تسليح وقدرات رادارية عالية جدا.
You can see the raw power of Specma M88 engines developing just over 100,000 pounds of thrust. Pushing this nimble fighter straight into the maximum rate turn. The aircraft, or the pilot reclined in the aircraft. To offset the G-load. Wide array of armaments being able to carry it on that large delta wing as well. As in the Mirage 2000, you have a big surface area to play with, so you can have multiple attachment points. So as you can see, the aircraft flying today, fully clean, no weapons allowed, for display purpose. And that means you can really throw it, and as you can see, amazingly tight turns, even at that high speed. Because when you're going fast, like in a car, if you go fast around a corner, you're going to extend out, but it looks like this Rafale, even at speed, has no trouble doing those really tight turns.
أخذت الكثير سبب الكرام هذه الطائرة من خبرات المتراكمة من شركة داسو. هذه الطائرة تستطيع أن تتحدث إلى الطيار، وأن يقوم الطيار بطلب ما يريد من هذه الطائرة، وما على الطائرة إلا أن تلبي ما طلبها الطيار بواسطة جهاز للتحكم الصوتي. هنالك أيضا الكثير من المميزات الأخرى، يوجد منها نموذج بحري كما ذكرت لزميلي كابتن جو، وأيضا سرعات كبيرة لهذه الطائرة تصل 2 ماخ، والضغط أيضا بهذه السرعات على ارتفاعات عالية جدا.
there by the looks of it, and as if 14 hard points to attach your weapons wasn't enough, it also has a 30mm cannon inboard, so it doesn't spoil the clean lines. So also capable of doing ground strafing with that.
نعم 14 نقطة تحميل سادة الكرام للذخائر المختلفة، وغير ذلك هنالك رشاش في مقدمة هذه الطائرة المقاتلة والهجومية، وتعود الآن هذه الطائرة للهبوط. So it's coming back for landing.
Absolutely, gear down at the top of that. As you can see, he popped it and lining up on the runway. Very nice display, very tight, and you can see the difference just in the size and also the sharpness of its turns between that and a Sukhoi.
نعم سادة الكرام، تهبط الرافال الآن التي طبعا كما ذكرنا هي من الجيل الرابع المتقدم، أو كما يطلق عليه الفورث جنريشن بلس. أجيال الطيران سادة الكرام تعاقبت طبعا من الجيل الأول إلى الجيل الثاني إلى الجيل الثالث. الآن أغلب الطائرات الموجودة هي من الجيل الرابع أو الجيل الرابع بلس. الرافال هي من الجيل الرابع بلس التي تقدر من الجيل الخامس. الجيل الخامس لا يوجد منه إلا طائرة واحدة، هي طائرة F-22 الأمريكية التي سنشهد اليوم أيضا مرورها في منطقة العروض. تلك الطائرة أيضا الخارقة حقيقة F-22، وهي تقريبا الأقوى على الإطلاق في عالم الطيران كما يذكرها ويبرزها النقاد